minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, panel, for being here today and for your testimonies. I'm not certain whether FADA is the best means for protecting what is constitutionally guaranteed or not. I think it needs more deliberation. But one thing I am certain of, Mr. Chairman, is that in our current day, the greatest assault on the free exercise of religion is being perpetuated by those most responsible to protect it, those who uphold the law. Instead of upholding the free exercise clause of the First Amendment, we have now seen this body continue its assault on faith in America. It is not enough to level accusations of injustice. Many will not be satisfied until their assaults of intolerance on people of faith in this country has produced an elimination of God in public life in America. We are accused of hatred, called out as shameful, and enjoined to use the whole Constitution to support an opposing view that embodies behavior, mores, and outcomes that not only violate our conscience, but have been prohibited under the laws of nature and nature's God. In the last 50 years, we have seen the Constitution used by ideologues to kill American children in the womb, eliminate family structure, elevate behavior over belief, redefine marriage, and assault into silence and inaction any who oppose them. Not satisfied, we now see them without rest on their quest to eliminate free exercise of faith in the United States. Do we really want a nation without God? They would call it progress, yet our conscience knows different. The Apostle Paul explained why when he said, and I am exercising my First Amendment right to state this, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because what may be made known of God is manifest in them. For God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Therefore, God also gave them up to uncleanness in the lust of their hearts, to dishonor their bodies among themselves, who exchanged the truth of God for the lie, and worshiped and served the creature rather than the Creator." The Creator. Our nation has always been anchored in the Creator from its inception. Throughout its history, God has been the foundation of our republic as seen in the sweeping lines in the Declaration of Independence. None of the founders of this country believed that a governmental connection to religion was an evil in itself. They opposed the establishment of a national religion because it could prohibit free exercise of faith, but that faith would and should be freely exercised. The same day the Bill of Rights was introduced, July 13, 1787, this Congress also introduced the Northwest Ordinance to lay guidelines and instruction on new territory acquired by a future United States. Article 3 of that ordinance stated, and I quote, "Religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall be forever encouraged." Forever be encouraged, Mr. Chairman. Some in this body today would believe forever stops in 2016 and should have stopped much sooner. They claim that Congress grants these unalienable rights and use the powers of government without the consent of the governed to regulate and diminish faith and eliminate it from public life. In 1798, in response to the claim that Congress could regulate the First Amendment freedoms without abridging them, James Madison condemned it, saying, and I quote, "The liberty of conscience and the freedom of the press were completely exempted from all congressional authority whatever," end quote. Mr. Speaker, forever be encouraged. Is that where we stand today? Shall religious freedom, the hallmark of Columbia's shores, continue to be forever encouraged? Or do we who are so humbly honored to serve in these chambers now step aside as we see the indispensable supports of our religion and morality knocked from under our foundation? Mr. Chairman, I can't be silent. Since I was 18, I have pledged and defended the Constitution of the United States of this great republic. I've been moved by conscience and dictates to speak out against the coercion of people of faith who are being discriminated against because they hold to the laws of nature and nature's God. Our institutions, once based on the creator of life, have now appointed themselves to usurp the authority of God, who is the author of life, marriage, and family. The most elemental sovereign unit, the family, has been destroyed by our foolish decisions. We are told instead by those of us sworn to uphold the law that murder is not murder, marriage is not marriage, family is not family. We have allowed constitutional constructs to kill a child and call it a choice. We have seen discrete behaviors and private sexual preferences now promoted to public display, while what is constitutionally guaranteed to be able to express religion is now publicly prohibited. This nation, at its highest level, it seems, has taken a position against God. And so I close with this, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman. Is it possible to form a more perfect union without God? Can we establish justice absent the giver of law? Can domestic tranquility be ensured when we abandon his precepts? Can we provide for a common defense absent a mighty fortress and an unfailing bulwark? How do we promote the general welfare when every American is now seemingly unanchored, adrift to do what seems right in his own eyes? Do we suppose we can secure the blessings of liberty without him? Can we acknowledge our prosperity and expect to obtain his blessing without acknowledging his existence? And so, Mr. Speaker, like our forebears, I will not be silent while it is still legal to not be. My faith directs that I act with love and civility and gentlemanly manner. My optimism is secured by eternal hope and everlasting truth. My conscience speaks to God's eternal being so that I am without excuse. But his love and mercy cannot be separated from those who answer his call. Mr. Chairman, I yield back my time.